Hello, welcome back to Let's Play Jane's Fighters Anthology as we continue to go over the reference materials. Now, today we will be going over the long-serving, venerable F-15C Eagle. The F-15C Eagle, title McDonnell Douglas F-15CD Eagle, Israel Defense Force name Baz or Falcon, type twin turbofan air superiority fighter with secondary attack role. Program first flight of YF-15, 27th of July 1972. First F-15C 78-468, 26th of February 1979. First F-15D, 19th of June 1979. Pratt & Whitney F-100-PW-220 engine standard since 1985. The last of 894 F-15As, Bs, Cs, and Ds delivered the 3rd of November 1989. Production restarted during 1991 to produce 5 for Israel and 12 for Saudi Arabia. Production now concentrated on the F-15E. Design features: NACA 64A aerofoil section with conical chamber on leading edge, sweep back 38 degrees 42 minutes at quarter chord, thickness chord ratio 6.6% at root, 3% at tip, anhedral 1 degree, incidence 0 degrees. Twin fins positioned to receive vortex off-wing and maintain directional stability at high angles of attack. Straight two-dimensional external compression engine air inlet each side of fuselage. Air inlet controllers by Hamilton Standard, air inlet actuators by National Water Lift. Structure: wing based on torque box with integrally machined skins and ribs of light alloy and titanium. Aluminum honeycomb wingtips, flaps and ailerons, air brake panel of titanium, aluminum honeycomb, and graphite epoxy composite skin. Landing gear: hydraulically retractable tricycle type with single wheel on each unit. All wheels retract forward. Cleveland nose and main units, each incorporating an oleo pneumatic shock absorber, nose wheel and tire by Goodyear, size 22 by 6.6-10, pressure 17.93 bars or 260 pounds per square inch. Main wheels by Bendix with Goodyear tires, size 34.5 by 9.78-18, pressure 23.44 bars or 340 pounds per square inch. That's a lot of pressure. Consider so pounds per square inch. I believe that's PSI, and the pressure for, say, the tires in my car that I drive to work every day is, I believe, around 35 to 38 PSI. So this is 10 times that. Bendix carbon heat sink brakes, hydro air wheel braking skid control system. Power plant: 2 Pratt & Whitney F-100-PW-220 turbofans, each rated at 105.7 kilonewtons or 23,770 pounds force, with afterburning for takeoff. Internal fuel in 8 Goodyear fuselage tanks, total capacity 7,836 liters, or 2,070 US gallons, or 1,724 imperial gallons. Simmons fuel gauge system, optional conformal fuel tanks attached to side of engine air intakes beneath wing, each containing 2,839 liters or 750 US gallons or 624 imperial gallons, provision for up to 3 additional 2,309 liter or 610 US gallon or 508 imperial gallon external fuel tanks. Max total internal and external fuel capacity 20,441 liters or 5,400 US gallons or 4,496 imperial gallons. Accommodation: pilot owning a McDonnell Douglas Aces 2 ejection seat. Stretch acrylic canopy and windscreen anti-icing valve by Dynasciences Corporation. Avionics: General Electric automatic analog flight control system standard. Use aircraft AN/APG 63 X-band pulse Doppler radar, upgraded to AN/APG 70 under MSIP. Equipped since 1980 with a Hughes aircraft programmable signal processor, provides long-range detection and tracking of small high-speed targets operating at all altitudes to treetop level, and feeds accurate tracking information to the IBM CP-1075-96K or 24K on early F-15CDs central computer to ensure effective launch of the aircraft's missiles or the firing of its internal gun. For close-in dogfights, the radar acquires the target automatically and the steering weapon system information is displayed on a McDonnell Douglas Electronics ANAVQ-20 heads-up display. Teledyne Electronics AN/APX-101 IFF transponder informs ground stations and other suitably equipped aircraft that the F-15 is friendly. It also supplies data on the F-15's range, azimuth, altitude, and identification to air traffic controllers. A Hazeltine AN/APX-76 IFF interrogator informs the pilot if an aircraft is seen visually or on radar is friendly. A Lytton reply evaluator for the IFF system operates with the AN/APX-76. A Honeywell vertical situation display set using a cathode ray tube to present radar, electro-optical identification, and altitude director indicator formats to the pilot permits inputs received from the aircraft sensors and the central computer to be visible to the pilot under any light conditions. Armament, provision for carriage and launch of a variety of air-to-air weapons over short and medium ranges, including 4 AIM-9L or M Sidewinders, 4 AIM-7F or M Sparrows, or 8 AIM-120 AMRAAM, and a 20mm M61A1 6-barrel gun with 940 rounds of ammunition. General Electric Lead Computing Gyro, a dynamic controls corporation armament control system, keeps the pilot informed of the weapon status and provides for their management. 3 air-to-surface weapon stations, 5 if configured with conformal fuel tanks, allow for the carriage of up to 10,705 kilograms or 23,600 pounds of bombs, rockets, or additional ECM equipment, and AWG-20 armament control system. It's worth that the development team model for the F-15C was not a pound for air-to-ground, so it was mostly limited to dumb ordnance, I think. Stuff that you could strap on and just let go. But obviously that kind of changed a bit with the F-15E, because turns out it was a great platform to be a bomb truck, so who knew? Anyways, dimensions: external wingspan 13.05 meters or 42 feet 9 3/4 inches, wing aspect ratio 3.01, length overall 19.43 meters or 63 feet 9 inches, height overall 5.63 meters or 18 feet and 5.5 inches. Tailplane span 8.61 meters or 28 feet 3 inches. Weights and loadings: weight empty, equipped, no fuel, ammunition, pylons, or external stores, 12,973 kilograms or 28,600 pounds. Max fuel load internal 6,103 kilograms or 13,455 pounds. Conformal fuel tanks do total 4,422.5 kilograms or 9,750 pounds. Auxiliary tanks 3 total 5,395.5 kilograms or 11,895 pounds. Max internal and external 15,921 kilograms or 35,100 pounds. Max takeoff weight with CFTs 30,845 kilograms or 68,000 pounds. Max wing loading 546.1 kilograms per meter squared or 100. Okay, 111.8 pounds per square feet. I'm sorry, it took me a while. I wasn't sure if it was 3 ones or 4 ones there, but it's been a long day for me, so my eyesight's a little worse than usual. Max power loading 147.87 kilograms per kilonewton or 1.45 pounds per pound of force. Performance: max level speed more than Mach 2.5, 800 knots, or 1,482 kilometers per hour, or 921 miles per hour, close air support. Approach speed 125 knots, or 232 kilometers per hour, or 144 miles per hour, combat close air support. Service ceiling 18,300 meters, or 60,000 feet. Ferry range with external tanks without CFDs more than 2,500 nautical miles, or 4,631 kilometers, or 2,878 miles. With CFDs, 3,100 nautical miles, or 5,745 kilometers, or 3,570 miles. Max endurance with in-flight refueling 15 hours. Unrefueled with CFDs 5 hours 15 minutes. Design G limits +9 -3. Length 19.43 meters, height 5.63 meters. Wingspan 13.05 meters, max takeoff weight 30,845 kilograms. Max wing load 546.1 kilograms per meter squared. Max level speed 800 knots, which seems a little low, but compared to the more than Mach 2 that they were claiming up there, but Because, yeah, they said the F-14 was 1,200 knots, and then they said it was, max speed Mach 1.5. So I feel like there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. But obviously some of that depends on altitude and loading as well. Like, I think here they're saying 800 knots, close air support. And I think with the F-14, when they said the Mach 1.5 plus or whatever, that was probably fully loaded and perhaps at sea level or something. But that's my one gripe, is that some of the information they've imported isn't always real clear about conditions. It's really weird how the entries vary so much, and even just the raw technical data. Like, I could understand if some of it was not available, but you'd think they'd say, hey, at least, hey, this is what it is at sea level, this is what it is 10,000 feet, this is what it is at 40,000 feet, and then if one of those or more of those isn't available, just say not available. But I don't know. That's me and my crazy thinking of being logical and presenting information in a consistent manner. Anyway, service ceiling 18,300 meters, takeoff run 274 meters, landing run 1,067 meters. As an NPC aircraft, one that was meant to be an NPC aircraft. Obviously, in this game, we can play it in certain conditions, mostly in the quick missions. But you can see it's fairly detailed, actually, even though it was originally not meant to be a playable aircraft. Not quite as detailed as the F-14, but still pretty detailed for an aircraft you aren't supposed to be able to fly. And it's quite beautiful, too. We got our single pilot in there. He's happy, he's cozy, and much like the F-14, the F-15 is an iconic aircraft that signifies American air power, and you gotta love it for that. Even if it's not my favorite, you gotta love it for that. Just one note I do want to add is they mentioned conformal fuel tanks, and that's not a mistake. There were conformal fuel tanks for the F-15C. They were predominantly only used on F-15Cs deployed to Iceland, I believe, because they needed the longer range to intercept potential Soviet bombers working over Iceland, or maritime patrol aircraft, or just doing their work protecting Iceland and the northern seas there. Obviously, conformal fuel tanks on the F-15E come standard, although they can be removed, and I did talk with a pilot once at EAA, and I asked him about that, and he said that actually, without conformal fuel tanks, the F-15E is superior in maneuverability and dogfighting to the F-15C. And I guess with the conformal fuel tanks, that can narrow the field depending on how much fuel is left and whatnot. But in any case, that is the short video for the F-15C. Unfortunately, because again, NPC aircraft, we don't get any of the fancy videos for that. And I did check ahead this time. We have 2 more F-15 entries, but they are actually distinct. We have one for the F-15E and one for the F-15J, although I expect the J to be very similar to the C, because they basically are the same, other than it was Japanized, so to speak, and then kind of not really upgraded much since. So that's where we're going to leave off for today. And with that, thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for next time, and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.